It seems like every time we go on the air now, we're getting breaking news. And each show today that I've done, we broke the Mike Evans stuff earlier because our source within the Buccaneers was saying that Mike Evans was going to miss between 2 to 3 weeks because of a hamstring injury. And now all of a sudden, we're seeing the Ian Rappaport that Gardner-Johnson has just been cut by the Texans. Now, there is no doubt Gardner-Johnson is a fine ball player, and it's a surprise to a lot of people here. Ian Rappaport's reporting this, and that CJ Gardner-Johnson is being released by the Houston Texans. And Jimmy Ward is now being reinstated. So obviously that played a factor in Gardner-Johnson. So, folks, I know it immediately the initial conversation is going to be, should the Eagles bring him back? How bad do you think your safety position is right now? And with Gardner-Johnson, what would he bring back to a defense that he excelled in a year ago? The 2 years that he has been in Philadelphia, he has been a superstar. 12 interceptions, 2 NFC championships, and a Super Bowl, but he's an asshole. Do you bring him back? Do you at least have a conversation about it? I think you at least have to go pros and cons about bringing a guy like that back. Now, you're talking about environment. One of the reasons that they got rid of him is because of the back and forth that he had with the coaches. Listen, if you can't get along with DeMeco Ryans and his coaching staff, you are truly an asshole. Okay, now, does Vic want to coach that asshole? And plus, I got to say, now that he's been released, first you have to see if where his mind is. But now that he's released, do you call him? You get him on a deal, too. You don't have to pay the $11 million that he was going to make this year. Now you go to highest bidder if you're him. That contract is now void. Only the bonuses and all that was promised to him, signing bonuses, it's owed to him. And I'm talking about if any of that stuff got prorated. I don't know. I don't know what the contract looks like. But you can't keep bouncing around teams, and you can't keep having people say this. Guy's a great player, but he's an asshole. Now, do you bring him back? Let's do both sides of it, and then we'll do a conclusion. How many people want CJ Gardner-Johnson back in the Philadelphia Eagle jersey? How many want him back in the building? Knowing full well, by the way, does that mean that Reed Blankenship's play picks up too? Right? See a lot of people in here wanting him back. Kimberly says no. Me, yes. Sir Mix, yes. By the way, guys, please hit the like button. Super chats go to the top. So let's do the pros first. He's better than anything you got the safety position right now. He's a better player than anybody you have, including Reed Blankenship. Andrew Makuba is not better than him. So automatically, he's excelled in this system. He's excelled in it. He's better than anybody you have on the roster. Okay? He's been in 2 Super Bowls. Okay? When it comes to player production, he is, again, he's a great player for them. And he's been instrumental in your most successful seasons in franchise history. So there's a lot to want to say, bring him back. Here's the other side. Got a lot of young football players on that side. And let me ask you this. Okay? Add this to the mix. You got a very immature Jalen Carter that's in that huddle. Do you want to add another asshole into that huddle? I mean, you need leadership in there. You don't need another asshole. So that's something else too. Yeah, we just got another unsportsmanlike conduct because they're looking for it. I thought it was stupid too by the refs. But yeah, well, I'll tell you what, Lamar, I don't need another immature player in my defensive huddle. But I don't want him not to be on the team because he's an asshole. The guy's a good football player. I'm going to play with that asshole. I'm not talking about going on a date with him. I'm talking about winning football games here. Dude, if you're looking for best friends, the NFL's the wrong place. Here, and do this. Always know that this conversation goes down this line. They put people who assault people in your locker room. They put people who beat kids. They put people who are domestic abusers in your locker room. A guy who's an asshole is the least of my concerns, isn't it? I mean, we're not talking about somebody making a stupid comment like that bonehead wide receiver you had a couple years ago. Yeah, nobody cares about that shit either. All right, this is harmless stuff. Again, if we're talking about domestic violence, that's one thing. This guy's just an asshole. I don't have a problem with that. But the play calling is worse than Scoot called Parkway. Plus, I think they would only make a move if they get beat soundly by the Bucs, especially if the secondary is a factor in this game, which it might be. Since Isaiah Rodgers is out there getting 2 TDs and we're stuck with Ray Jackson and Kelly Bingo and Jacoby Benyay. Hey, I'm going to say something here. I'm going to bring him in and sign him. He's better than anybody you got, and he's played in that system, and he's played for Vic. My only problem would be if Christian Parker and him could get along. Okay? If Christian Parker and him can get along, then I'm going to sign him. If my coach says no, I'm probably not going to sign him. Okay? Okay? So again, by the way, we have Mark Farzetta on with us. Okay, we will talk with him. That'll be at 4:30. Also, Anthony Beck, former Buccaneer tight end, is going to be with us at 3:30. Xander's going to be with us today, right after those guys, and we'll clean up. He'll be the closing act here today as we are packed once again. Please, guys, hit the like button. How many people would be in favor of bringing Gardner-Johnson back? It's a tough one because player-wise, I think it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. Character-wise, there has to be something to this. It has to be a character issue. Okay? It has to be. I mean, right? It has to be. He is worth it. That's the better question. Is it worth bringing Gardner-Johnson back? I like that one better. Is it worth bringing Gardner-Johnson back? Risk reward. Yes. He's an asshole. This guy is an asshole. Okay. Has he helped you with 2 of the most successful years in franchise history? Yes. You bring him in. Let the chips fall where they may. And by the way, because you're going to get him at a reduced salary, the expense for it is not going to be high risk. Because now what you do is you go to his agent and you say, look, this guy's been traded. This guy's been fired. He's not a $10 million guy because of the risk. And for me, he hasn't really played that well in the first 2 games of the season. First 3 games of the year, he's not played well. He hasn't. Now, it's a different system with different players. you do have Derek Stingley back there. So what's the excuse? I mean, they're 0-3. They're not 0-3 because of him. This guy has played, and I see he's played championship football for the Eagles. By the way, am I right when I say this? That Gardner-Johnson has been to the playoffs 3 straight years, right? Okay? Something is off. They converted 6.5 of his to a signing bonus 3 weeks ago. They wanted him. Something happened, I think. This is over salary now. They asked him because you know why? Remember that number that he was going to make this year was something like $10 million. And they wanted to convert that money to a signing bonus to lower it so they can have salary cap relief. And he didn't want to do it. Something happened salary-wise. So this is basically a money move from what I'm reading. Xander just posted this to me. Something is off. They did convert it, though. Well, then he must have had a problem with that because, and this is why they did it. They converted it so they can release him and they don't have a big cap hit because of the kid that just got activated today. They were planning this move. Is something off the field coming? A lot of speculation on why they would cut him like that and why they would change his contract around. CJ and Makuba would be a nice tandem. Gardner-Johnson's situation reminds me of Charles Haley. Now, to Xander's point, he's never had anything off the field. He's not had an off-the-field issue. That stuff's been internal. Unless somebody can point something to me that he's had, like, character issues with women or something off the field, because I have not heard any of that since he came out of Florida. So I have not heard any of that where he's been problems off the field and out of the locker room. It's been most of the chirping shit that's inside the locker room. So to speculate that something off the field, I think this had more to do, once again, like I said, with the fact that Jimmy Ward is being reinstated. And that they wanted to be able to cut the guy loose so that they could not have a big cap hit here. And I guess they're saying that he's not played well in the first 3 games. His argument with the coach is, can't do that. We won a Super Bowl with him. If he's that bad in the locker room, then what is it enough to prevent us from winning a Super Bowl? It wasn't enough for us to prevent it from winning a Super Bowl for us. He's right. This guy being an asshole and this guy being a whatever, if you think he's a bad guy, it wasn't enough to derail you in the locker room. I mean, listen, I'm not going to sit here and say that that guy's not and would not be an additional help to the football team. He's played in this system, and it's probably going to be a better fit for him than it was in Houston. He was going to a brand new system. So what? He's an asshole. What do you have? Sidney Brown, who can't tackle? Who can't make plays? Why would you not at least entertain him, especially for the money? I mean, 15 tackles, 11 solo, 1 quarterback hit in 3 games. Not terrible. By any stretch of the imagination, that's not terrible. Bring him back. Best D guys are assholes. I love Romanowski. Romanowski's in that conversation. I'm sick of this Sidney Brown slander. Well, it'll stop when he plays better. The bigger mistake was Isaiah Rodgers. I get it. Probably going to be the defensive NFC player of the week with what he did with those 2 picks. We told you. Isaiah Rodgers, you see why Vic Fangio loved the guy and why he went to him and didn't go to anybody else on the roster. Move CJ to the slot, move Koopa. No. I'd put CJ back at the safety position and keep Cooper where he is. I don't really think Cooper's been great. I don't think he's been bad, but he's been Cooper DeJean. He's a good player right now. He's not off to the same sensational start as he was a year ago, but that's a high-end bar that you're talking about him touching. I don't think he's been bad. I'm not criticizing him. But I think the safety, they have not replaced. Here, have the Eagles replaced Gardner-Johnson's position? Ask yourself that. I think that'll probably be a better place to start. Do you think that Makuba and Sidney Brown have replaced CJ's production and productivity? Do you? Hey, Spike, you don't like the fucking question? Move on. Sick of it. Gardner-Johnson's out there. You don't like the conversation? Move the fuck on. Hey, what do you guys think? Have you replaced it? Do you think the Eagles? Absolutely not. Okay, how many people believe that Makuba's replaced CJ Gardner, which is a fucking brutal take? He's not replaced him by any stretch of the imagination. You fucking kidding me? He's replaced him. Another stupid ass take. Seals, if we had CJ and Becton, we'd be much better off. Yeah, well, don't go with the Becton right now. GP, I hear what you're saying. Okay? Hey, Keith, I'm with you. Andrew Makuba has not replaced him yet. I'm with you on that. Okay, I am. I think there's a chance he could, yes. Watch for yourselves. I see a lot of blown coverages in that secondary, especially Ed Reed Blankenship is a disappointment. He has been. It was issues with his ex and his mental health. There was issues. What were they, Kim? I don't remember them. But Makuba has been fine compared to CJ getting toasted multiple. Dude, Drew, Gardner-Johnson was the 13th highest ranked safety a year ago with his play. Stop the bullshit lies. So CJ might go to the Ravens to help that secondary. Where's that guy that was here? That was the D coordinator in Tennessee. That was your DB coach a couple of years back in the 22 Super Bowl. Wherever that guy is, he may go there because that guy really liked Gardner-Johnson. Give me 22 lunatics. You don't win championships with choir boys. That's a damn true statement. And now he's getting dropped by the Texans after 3 games still. Stop with the lies. What lies? That he helped you get to a Super Bowl? 2 years he's been an Eagle? He had 12 interceptions? What's the fucking lie? Seals, what do you make of Q's play for 3 weeks? Not horrible without Slay and CJ. Gives up some plays, but holds his own. I think he's been okay. I don't think he's been bad, but I don't think he's been exceptional. I would love to see CJ back, but I think that was an internal personal decision by management to let him go. I don't see him coming back. Well, and I agree, Juice. But, Juice, ask yourself, are you better off with him or without him? I mean, wouldn't you rather have another good player instead of a player that you're still trying to develop? And I don't want to develop. I don't want to develop another guy. I want a player who can play right now and help me win my football games, right? Dan, it's like you to say it's fine to be an asshole, but you need to direct it. Like Carter has been an asshole. He just needs to direct it correctly. Correct. You're right. Same thing for CJ. I don't know if CJ can do that. Hey, K-Guns, I don't know he can. And I think that's probably one of the reasons that this guy has no fail-safe in his own way he handles himself. So there's either something happened in Houston. I don't think it's player related because those numbers aren't terrible. They restructured his contract, okay? Something got twisted up between management and him. And that guy's a hothead. And I'm sure he said something in the building, plus there's a reinstatement of a player. So you take that into consideration with them putting Jimmy Ward back in reinstatement. So all of that played into this. Could you get a player that's been cut? Now that you get a reduced contract, you get him at the league minimum? Would you not want that? What's the risk? So, Sills, would you start CJ and Makuba together? No, I'd put CJ and Reed together. They were a great tandem a year ago. And Makuba would come off the bench and get a lot of playing time. And then I would eventually hope that Makuba beat CJ out. Remember, you're not going to pay this guy $10 million. Nobody in the league's going to pay him $10 million with character issues that could go sideways at any moment in the locker room. I use that to my advantage. I'm going to give you guys, get this, right, Xander? Shit, John and everybody's talking about Jalen Carter's immaturity and how the Eagles may use that against him in signing him to a contract extension. Well, why wouldn't you apply that same mentality on CJ and go, listen, we'll bring you back here, but here's the number, and I don't want any shit out of you. You don't have any latitude in this locker room. We can't have any of that. Dude, nobody wanted you gone the first time. We can't have it. And if he agrees, bring him in. It's low risk. It is low risk. And he's a good player, and he's better than anything you have. And you hope Makuba beats him out. Dude, I'm hoping Makuba would beat him out. Juice, I agree with you 100%. But I don't think they want him. And this release by Houston doesn't help his case. I think it does with the Eagles. Because then the Eagles could go league minimum. You want it or not? League minimum, you want it or not, which means this. There's no risk. What's the risk? $1 million too? For Gardner-Johnson, who's a $10 million. I'll tell you what. I'll pay Gardner-Johnson $10 million before I play fucking Reed Blankenship $10 million. And even with him being an asshole, I'll pay CJ. CJ's a better player. Now, Reed's a more reliable player. Reed needs to be benched. I want CJ back. I'm not bent. No. Marshall, he was great with him. Put him next to him. I guarantee you it elevates the play of Reed. How about this, guys? I bet you $1 million that Reed Blankenship prays the Eagles bring this guy back. Playing next to him versus playing against the rookie guys and a guy who can't tackle? I can't think that's how it's helping his play. Sills, I think it's not a bad idea to grab him. Since we're low for safety depth, correct? And God forbid something happens, you know better to have him and not need him than to need him and not have him. Abe, it's a great take. And he's cheap. Dude, the most you'll pay for him. And here, put a number on the table. Other teams want to pay more money? More power to you. If I'm Howie, I see this, I make a play and I say, here's the parameter. Put parameters on it. Listen here, man. And have Vic talk to him. Have Christian Parker talk to him. Bro, you'd be great here. You know how we think of you. But we also know how you act. Do you want to be here or not? Nobody gets third chances. This would be a third chance. Do you want to take advantage of this, or do you want to be out of the league in 2 years? His agent's got to be telling him this too. Dude, the next place has got to be a place where you stay for 3-4 years. You can't be a dickhead. They will blow you out of this league, man. Look at Hassan Reddick. How does a guy with double-digit sacks have all these teams he's been on? Because he's a dickhead. Nobody wants to put up with a dickhead. As great as you are. Can I tell you what's attracting to me on him? It's the money. The only reason I'm talking about Gardner-Johnson is because he's productive and he'll be cheap. My cheap. Well, still, someone will pay more than $3.5 million for him. More power to you. I'm not going north of that. We feel comfortable at $3.5 million. And by the way, no signing bonus. We're going to put the signing bonus into some clauses in here that if you're on the team in 3 weeks, you get percentages of a signing bonus we give you. If you're not, you void it. Put parameters around it. Make it hard for him to be an asshole. Dude, this guy is a great general manager when it comes to money like that. He's a fucking brilliant general manager. And when you can get a football player like this, and you can kind of dictate, and you can kind of dictate, okay? Right? You got a lot going for you here. Okay? I'm not bringing back a problem and benched our dude, your draft pick's not better than him. So you want a draft pick going against Baker Mayfield and all the rest of the quarterbacks you're going to have to face. I just said it gives him an opportunity like Nolan Smith a year ago sitting behind Brandon Graham and learning the position and then being put into a centerfold piece where you become that guy. Or like Mahomes sitting behind Alex Smith. You get an understanding of how you look at the game. You got another good player around you. Not bringing him back to bench a kid who's played 3 NFL games. Dumb take. Seems like CJ just can't get the big contract. Is it play, attitude, or both? I think it's his attitude. Bro, take it from me. Sometimes the way you think of things and how people see you are going to be the reason that you don't ever reach where you need to go. And you get in your own way. Okay? You get in your own way. Seals, isn't there a rule you can't acquire a player in the same league year you traded him? I did not know that. If that's the case, then this whole thing is a Now, wait. Now, here, you're not trading for him, though. You can't acquire a player off the wire. You're not acquiring him in a trade. He's been cut. You can't re-sign a player if he's been cut. Big rhythm. I think you're talking about you can't trade a guy and then go back because we were talking about going and getting Reddick and trading him back. And there were draft picks involved with that, like a 3rd rounder and a contingent 3rd. This guy's been cut. Every NFL team, I think, has the ability to sign him. So acquire him. He's been cut. All 32 teams have an opportunity at grabbing him. Having CJ back would relieve a lot of pressure on Coop and cornerback too. Agreed. Plus, he's excelled in the system. He's excelled in it. I think belt to ass isn't the image Laurie wants on the team. I have to think CJ was a Jeff cut more than a Howie or the coaches. I maybe. Yeah, no, Rhythm. I think you're wrong on that one. I think you can't trade a player and then go trade for him again. I think you're right, but he's been released. Just check league rules. We can sign him, Sells. Yeah, I think it's trade. But since he's been cut, see, here's my take. Dude, 12 picks in 2 years. He was number one in interceptions one year, and he was number two the other year he was here. I don't know how you don't look at that and think that wouldn't be an advantage. He's the best safety right now you could sign. You can't trade for a player, but you can't sign a player that's a free agent. But wouldn't they have brung in Simmons? Simmons is not better than CJ right now. I don't think Justin Simmons is better. CJ and Parker don't get along. True. We reported that to you, and some of you laughed at it, but it turned out to be true. So when the F are we getting Bennett? Hey, I wrote that down. That Jacorian Bennett trade doesn't look like it really panned out with the Raiders. That guy's not starting yet. What was the draft pick you gave up for Bennett? What was the draft pick? This guy's been here how many months now? 4? And he can't start at corner? I don't know. That doesn't sound. If you guys traded a third rounder for him, then in my opinion, that's a bad trade. Because that guy has not been able to win a job. A 5th? All right, well, that's not awful. You traded a 5th round pick for a good football player? All right. Because he ain't won that job over Adoree Jackson. CBS reporter Jonathan Jones just reported he can't rule out a reunion. Okay? We're starting to get somewhere now. Now, also, to Xander's point, if this is true about this contract, maybe he's asked for his release. And he wanted out. So he could pick a landing spot with either the Saints or the Eagles or the Cardinals because of Jonathan Gannon. Supposedly Jonathan Gannon and him have a good relationship. So, hey, don't go to sleep on the Cardinals. No, Gardner, I'm not saying requested a trade. I'm saying Gardner-Johnson probably requested his release. And that's why they converted the money. So they could release him when they were able to get back the reinstated player, Jimmy Ward. This thing may have been orchestrated a week ago. Sign CJ to a 3-year contract? Absolutely not. I'm giving him a 1-year deal. I'm not going anywhere near any kind of commitment. I'm not committing money. I'm not committing years to Gardner-Johnson. No way. Dude, I'm committing weeks to him. I'll give you weeks. I am not giving you anything where I think that I could have the disadvantage. I'm not giving you signing bonus. I'm not giving you years, and I'm surely not giving you a decent base. And a decent base for a player like that would probably be $7 million. That's not fucking happening. No way. Dude, I'm going north of the league minimum, 1.5, maybe 2.5 for him. And if he says no, so be it. I'm 3-0. I don't need you. You want to build your equity back up where people think you're a good dude or somewhat decent to be able to handle? Maybe get back to another Super Bowl? Act like a civilian and act civilized? I'll give you a shot. What do you want? You'll be on the Eagles too. You got to weigh that out, man. Because his agent would do this. Hey, I'm talking to the Philadelphia Eagles and Howie. Howie's got some interest. Not a lot. What I would do is I was his agent. I'd put him on the horn with Howie and tell him this. Kid, if I were you, I'd ask Howie and say, listen, how do we make this happen and how do we get to yes? What do you want from me? I want this, this, and this. And Howie'd probably go, let me get back to you. They would go to the coaches. They would go to the owner. The general manager would go to the position coaches and maybe some of the team leadership. What do you think? And get this, he could play this weekend. That dude would be able to play against the Bucs if you did this now. Still, sounds like you want him back. Yeah, I do. With parameters. I don't want him back at any cost. That's not going to happen. Not at any cost. Stills, when Howie's looking into him, what is he allowed to ask in case? Again, that's a great question, Josh, because you're not allowed to ask because of the collective bargaining agreement, personal questions off the field. But if I were Gardner-Johnson, I would offer him up. Because you got to make him feel comfortable about wanting to even attempt this. And I'm probably thinking Howie's probably like, kind of, sort of. You treat players like Gardner-Johnson like you. Yes, like you hauls for a 1-year rental. Yes, right. You buy the insurance, gets a couple dents on it, you're okay with it, and you move on. You take it back. He's a mercenary kind of player. Absolutely. Give him $5 million? I don't know, man. That's awful rich for me. Here's $3 million, $3.5 million. We're going to have bonuses in here where if you're on the team and you're acting like a civilized human, here's some bonuses. Percentage of playing time. Doing all that, I'll give you a shot. Other than that, I am not going overboard. Giving him years. No, thank you. This guy doesn't have years. His agent's got to have a come to Jesus conversation with him about where he is in his career. Seriously, your agent would come to you and go, okay, let's see this now. The Lions, you screwed that up. The Eagles, you screwed that up. Something happened here in Houston, okay? Teams don't like distractions. I don't care how good you are. They don't like distractions. Right? That's not. Okay? Make him, hey, what? Yeah, well, I don't want my football players in Taylor Swift clubs. That's the problem you have with Travis Swift right now, is that he's in that club and he's no longer Travis Kelce. Do you get same CJ as a player if you force him not to be CJ? Dog, I'm not telling you to be a different player on the field. I'm telling you to be a different human in the locker room. And I'm talking about just fucking acting right. Showing up to meetings on time. Not being an asshole to your position coach or coordinator. When someone asks you a question, answer it like a professional. I just want you to be a pro. I'm not asking you to be Mother Teresa. I'm just asking you to be a civilized human when we're fucking having conversations with you. And I don't want you always bitching at something. Listen, I want your input. You're a good football player. But I don't want you to be an asshole. Dude, I'll coach assholes. That's not a problem. I won't coach insubordination. Coaches hate that word, insubordination. Do you know some of the stuff that goes on the sidelines? That's the shit I talk about with insubordination. Okay? That's the stuff I talk about. For the Texans to cut CJ that quickly, when they kept Watson for whatever long tells you CJ is a big issue, a bigger issue than what we're thinking. I get it's quarterback versus safety, but still. He probably didn't fit into that culture. Dude, not everybody does. Hey, how about this? Do you think Howie should at least Howie should at least look into it. Right? Right? Three teams in 4 years, he's a problem. Yeah, inside those 4 years, he's been to 2 Super Bowls, and he had the best record. If I'm not mistaken, he's gone to 3 conference championship games in a row, has he not? He went to a conference championship game, if I'm not mistaken, in 23 with the Lions, right? The Lions went to the NFC championship game. Is that correct? And they got beat by the 49ers, right? 22, he went to an NFC championship game, right? 24, he went to an NFC championship game, right? So 3 straight years, that guy's been to an NFC championship game. Is that correct? And you don't want to inquire about that? And he won 2 NFC titles with you in a Super Bowl. It's a no-brainer to talk to him. That guy's gone to 3 straight conference championship games. And he's been productive. I wouldn't mind having him back on the squad. I wouldn't either. I would worry that CJ wouldn't have learned his lesson being re-signed by the Super Bowl champs. My friend, he helped bring the Super Bowl trophy to you. Learn his lesson? CJ's the Dennis Rodman of the NFL. Rodman won 5 championships and won 11 rebounding titles and 3 Player of the Year awards as the Defensive Player of the Year. So I'll take that, and I don't care about the dresses. 15 tackles in 3 games for a safety. Couple TFLs, 3 of them. I think he's got a pick. I don't know. Do you want him back, Sills? So that's a yes. Well, here, like I said, 1-year prove-it deal. No signing bonus. $2.5 to $3 million. Take it or leave it. I'm giving you a chance to build your reputation back and get yourself in a position to go make some money in the offseason. Know this. The chances of you being on this team after this year are very slim. But we have an opening. Now, here's another thing. I'm comfortable going forward with Makuba and Sydney. And I'll die on the vine with that before I'll sit here and bend to you. I'd like to have you, but I'm not coming. There's no negotiating. This is not a negotiation. I'm not going to negotiate with it. The Eagles have too much to offer. They would have the upper hand in this, not him. Hey, you want to be a guy who's competing and going after the money, and you want to negotiate with the Bengals and the Titans and the Carolina Panthers? Go ahead. Be out of the league at the end of the year. Or if you want to be in a position where you're going to be on nationally televised games, in games that actually matter, where other teams are going to be watching you, and a chance to build your equity back up in the league. That's what I'm selling you. Here's $3 million, no signing bonus. What do you say? No. Good luck. Yeah, I'm with that. I'm with you, Jeff. Okay, yeah. Bringing Gardner-Johnson back. Bring CJ in and let Reed go. No, you're missing it. Damon, you bring Gardner-Johnson in to help Reed's play. Every time he's been back there, Reed's played well. I'm looking to have Makuba beat Gardner-Johnson out by the end of the year, where I can cut him maybe by the end of the year. And Sydney's played better. That's the ultimate goal here. The ultimate goal here is not to keep Gardner-Johnson for multiple years. He's a stopgap guy. He's a total stopgap. Get this. You see what that fucking dickhead Spike wrote? He's a cancer. That cancer delivered 2 Super Bowl appearances, 12 interceptions, and 2 NFC titles. If that's a cancer, give it to me. I'll die on the vine with that. That's your form of cancer? Hey, Spike, that cancer helped you win a Super Bowl and gets you to another one. Another dumb take by a dumbass guy who makes stupid offhand comments. Bro, you're not thinking right. Sidney Brown is a liability. Yes, the Texans are cutting him. Make his contract 100%. Nah, that's against collective bargaining. You can make the incentives that and put the signing bonus involved with that, with character stuff, but you can't do the base that way. Okay? See this guy here? This shows you here how fucking stupid he is. You're not allowed to re-sign people you traded and trade again. You can't trade for him. You can sign somebody if they've been released. Guy's a fucking idiot. This guy here, the guillotine was made for dudes like this. Texans are crazy to cut him. They're sitting at 0-3. CJ's an unrestricted free agent, buddy. I could see how he's saying it. Yes, absolutely. Would you not rather have No, he's better than him. Okay? No. That guy shows up over on my Twitter page acting like a hemorrhoid. And then he tries to come in here and act like a piece of shit. And he is. He goes on my Twitter page and posts all this bullshit. He's another one of those internet assassins who hides behind his internet, and he's probably a media dickhead somewhere around. That's what he is. Okay? So whatever, dude. You come in here, you're going to get your fucking head pushed in. I trust Howie. He got rid of the guy before he blew up the locker room. Strong pass on the problem. Yeah, that problem, once again, well, you don't have a better player than that guy. Post the truth? Fuck you. End of story with you, guy. Go somewhere else. We don't have nothing compared to him. That's right, Angelo. That's right. Contract continues if you claim him off waivers. Right. And if you don't, the contract goes away and he's up for the highest bidder. I'm changing my mind because of one fact. CJ is better than Sydney. Correct. That's right. The rule is they have to play 4 or more games with the team he's traded to before allowed to sign back to Eagles. BLG just posted it. Okay? Let's see here. Michael Jordan was the biggest dickhead teammate in professional sports history. And look what he did. Okay? Would anyone put a claim? I think somebody could put a claim for him. All right? Let's see how this plays out. Let's see how this plays out more here, okay? By the way, heading into the 4th week, he's one of the reasons why they cut him. Okay? So he's going into his 4th week. So let's see how this plays out. All right. Let's get to our topics here. Guys, do me a favor. Please hit the like button. All right. Anthony Beck's going to join us. And that'll be at 3:30. We're going to talk some Buck football with him. Straight up, give me that poison. How you doing? Then at 4:30, we are going to talk with Mark Farzetta. And then Zayner's going to clean up, and we will talk with him. All right. Tell me something here.